PHA, 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 PHA.
We are heading for more knowledge share now. Dorothy Sarnoff, the self-help pioneer, once said, "A good rule for discussion is to use hard facts and a soft voice." Moving on with the proceedings, we have a panel discussion on digitalization, the way forward to transform housekeeping. Moderated by Ms. Indrani Sanyal, General Manager Housekeeping, Medica Super Speciality Hospital, Kolkata, and Coordinator, Northeastern Region for PHA. May we have her on stage?
Our eminent panelist, Mr. Mukut Chakravarti, VP Sales and Marketing, Tamara Leisure Experiences. Ms. Gunjan Bisaria, Corporate Housekeeper, ITC Hotel. Mr. Ramlan Das Gupta, Founder and MD, Chrysalis Maven Consulting Private Limited. And Mr. Debian Sinha Chatterjee, Head of Facilities, V&RO Hospitality. Let's get an introduction of the moderator and the panelist through the video profiles.
Hello. A very good afternoon to all my esteemed fellow industry professionals. I know we are at the crossroad of lunchtime and we are running late, but please let us give some value to this most important burning topic. There are two important topics I think we all know. One is sustainability and digitalization. So welcome to our panel discussion on digitalization, the way forward to transform housekeeping. I'll straight go to the fact that, from smart cleaning tools to automated processes, digitalization has the potential to streamline operations, improve efficiency, and elevate the overall guest experience. During this discussion, I believe our panelists will cover their experts, so I'm sure they will cover in their respective fields their valuable insights, experiences, and perspectives on the topic. Let us delve into the benefits, challenges, and best practices of adopting digital solutions in housekeeping, examining how these innovations can actually positively impact our industry's future. I would extend my heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished panelists for their willingness to share their expertise and contribute to this enlightening conversation. So without further ado, let us begin the panel discussion. My first question to our only lady panelist, Ms. Gunjan. I would simply like to ask you, how do you see digitalization impacting housekeeping in the coming years?
So to begin with, I would first say that 68% of the revenue comes through the accommodations team, and housekeeping plays a major role in that. Housekeeping, as since morning we've been discussing, housekeeping is not only cleaning, bedding, and providing amenities. It is way beyond, and it reflects on linen management, procurements, inventory management, and stock control, etc. And coming back to digitization, the entire control which can be done through digitization for inventories, increasing the productivity of the staff, the allocation of credits to individual people working with us in the units, in the department. Automatically, the AI allocates rooms to those people, and then eventually tracking their productivity, not only for the day, older days, or historical data that can be taken out. And all of this definitely helps us not minusculely mitigating the people. You cannot mitigate the human touch in this, but yes, it reduces the manpower, and that's how helps us in reduction of costs. It helps us in communicating better. These days there are apps, which can help you communicate just like a WhatsApp. It helps you communicate with the guest better. And that brings in housekeeping communication, which is, considered a back of the house. It's usually the front office or the F&B who is in the front communicating with the guests. It's now the apps helping housekeeping communicate better with the guest directly, so that what they want to communicate is communicated crystal clear. I mean, it's one-to-one. So that's, and of course, the guest experiences that would enhance. That's what my take is.
Yes, thank you very much for your inputs. I mean, we understand that it's basically the guest experience which is more enhanced, bringing about, I think, staff efficiency and better productivity. The next question that I would like to ask is to Mr. Amlan. What are the potential benefits of incorporating smart devices and Internet of Things, technologies into housekeeping operations?
Check. Thank you, Indrani, and very good afternoon to everybody. First and foremost, answering this question, I would like to display my business card from here. The QR code which is visible on my business card. So, I'm sure some of you also must be having a QR code on your business cards or not. So that is the start of digitalization, which I say. It is there's no need for you to type a website or get into a link. I was very happy when I came in and there was a QR code here and you could check in from there directly. So we can't deny that we are into an era of digitalization. While saying so, and what Indrani just mentioned, irrespective of the fact, housekeeping is a function of a hotel. And my company is into process management. It's one of the process. Any process, digitalization is key. The reason is it enhances, the digitalization platform enhances. It enhances productivity. It is related to speed. It is related to scalability. So I have told about three things. One is productivity, one is speed, and the second is scalability. Okay. Now, in terms of housekeeping, we still remember our good olden days. 1997, I walked into the Park Hotel in Visakhapatnam, and I still remember how housekeeping functions were met that time. In a place like Visakhapatnam, I still remember, forget laptops, there was only one computer, which was the privilege of the general manager and the secretary. And being in sales, we had an electronic typewriter to handle the sales team. Okay, 1997. We moved from there. Housekeeping, manual, everything manual, record keeping, everything manual. Okay. Today, answering your questions, Indrani, when we have got into digitalization, we have sped up the process in housekeeping, right from understanding which room needs to be clean, which is a dirty room, right from the PMS, what is the occupancy in that room. Our good old discrepancy report, if I may be allowed to share, okay, again was manual in those days. Today, yes, there are manual intervention, but digitalization has helped. The errors have been minimized. So we have built smarter processes. We have started using robotic cleaners in housekeeping. So this one is to reach the nook and corners. Human intervention might be difficult and troublesome, but a robot goes in It goes in, it cleans, it comes back, and it does it absolutely perfectly well. So then the AI tells you, there's an artificial intelligence and machine learning. So AI and ML have been like the fuel now. It is the fuel of process. So AI tells you that, okay, this room needs to be cleaned right away, or there's a D&D, they're all digitalized. So there are many boons of digitalization, right? So I think it's time that we understand. Again, I strongly believe in transformation. Telling a bit about chrysalis mavens, the word chrysalis itself is transformation of a moth to a butterfly, and mavens are mavericks. So we strongly believe in transformation, and I think this adds to.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Amlan. In fact, when you were saying, I was recalling our days of housekeeping, because even we've seen the journey, starting with one computer, mouse, where actually at that point of time, we've not learned computers in college. So we've actually learned on the job. And to see where housekeeping stands today, you've said a myriad of the development, you've said the journey very well. However, when we talk about growth, we talk about prosperity, it always comes with, there is always the good and the areas of concern. So can I ask Debayan to elaborate what challenges my organizations might face while transitioning, and getting into these digitized practices, and can you suggest, how would you suggest to overcome them?
Thank you very much. Challenges in terms of digitalization would be AI is always evolving. So what we know today may not be the same thing which is tomorrow. It might be more advanced. So we might be, after going through our training for 10 days, we come to a conclusion that this is how we need to, this is the way ahead. But tomorrow AI says no. This is not the proper coding, or this is not how you do it. In hotels or in restaurants or anywhere we go, now everybody is wanting to go completely paperless, where there are again challenges and troubleshooting facing every day, because software versions are getting every day upgraded, for which new bugs are getting and for that, with this technologies, we are looking forward to ease our task. We want the inventory control to be in proper place, the guest communication to be in proper place. With this AI coming into picture, where it says that AI will be taking over for all the technologies or all the work going ahead. Over there, if AI gives us the command that what is to be done, hospitality is all about human touch. AI is not human. So going ahead, no matter what AI does, we need to still analyze and deliver it to the guests. That is, I feel, what the challenge in terms of digitalization would be. But in other way, this actually makes our life easy.
So you are actually saying that human touch.
Yes, human touch
in
is always
housekeeping
needed.
with robots through digitalization is a way forward, or what is your take, actually?
Robots are programmed. Robots will be only knowing what to do. They will not have the emotional quotient. Emotion is something that we know. We know if that person is happy. We know how to talk to a guest. If we are commanding, or if we are programming a robot, that these are the XYZ tasks that you need to do. If a guest is not happy, you offer a wow service, but that wow service may not be what the guest is looking for. That robot is programmed. So obviously that would be a challenge.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we all know that everything comes with the flip side as well as the good part.
Every side has two coins.
Yes.
Coins always have two sides.
So Mukut, taking on from Debayan, how would you say, what do you have to say about the role of training, upskilling, and adaptability in embracing digital transformation? Because I think we currently of the Gen X, I think we have a huge challenge that we face. I think a lot of people of our generation, we consider ourselves technologically handicapped. There is a mental block. So I think training, upskilling plays an important role. I mean, do you agree with that? And what is the role? How do you propose that these can be overcome?
No, thanks so much, Indrani. I think you've touched on a very pertinent point. If you were to break it up, I think this is exactly what I was thinking about, because a lot of people talked about adoption, talked about the next gen coming in. So training is the way forward, and bringing people into pipeline transformation doesn't happen overnight. It happens because of people. So I think there are three things that need to be considered. Number one is the change in the way we operate housekeeping. The mental model that we have today about housekeeping. And I can give you an example with, I'm not a housekeeping specialist, but I can give you an example right here where we quoted a number and we said that's the minimum, right? So the change in that mental model, given the new, I would say, if you want to call it a black swan event, or if you want to call it the huge disruption that has happened, that's one. The number two, the people who are in housekeeping, they need to redefine themselves. And I'll elaborate a little bit on that as well. And I think the third thing is a combination of these two leads to this transparency. So let's just for a second talk about the old mental model versus the new mental model. We talked about 5-part stock, we talked about 3-part stock. Why can't, if there is digitization of process, and you're talking about internet sensors, and you're talking about measuring last mile, why can't it be 2.356 part stock? Why does it have to be 3 or 2, right? This is just one example. I'm not saying this is the example, but it is one example of that mental makeup. Let's also take a look at how we are attracting talent. And let's take a look at the greatest revolution that's happened in the last 15 years. The greatest revolution that's happened in the last 15 years, everybody knows, is internet. When I joined Taj in 1996, there was a title called Internet Marketing Manager. Now, if I tell you I'm an internet marketing manager today, you're going to say, whatever the heck, what does that mean? What does that even mean? What do you do? Internet marketing? Right? Because you now have a UX manager, you have an SEO manager, you have a PPC manager. Now let's take a look at the housekeeping job titles that exist. Housekeeping manager, linen superintendent, control desk. We're talking about a different era in our job designations. How does somebody who is wanting to evolve himself visualize himself in that context today? Why can't the housekeeping business call itself an asset manager or an asset improvement? Why can't he title it from a guest experience perspective or what about these career aspirations of youngsters that are coming in? Are they going to housekeeping? And we've kind of placated ourselves saying we're back of the house. Whatever does that mean? Why can't we transfer that? We're talking about measurements, so why can't we say that I've moved the par stock to 2.36 and my AI sensitivity control manager says that my linen quality on touch has moved from 0.45 to 0.89. That's value transcription for you. And my ARR on attribute pricing because of my linen has jumped another 2,000 rupees. Now you're transferring value to your designation and your job title and your aspiration, and you're attracting the Gen, whatever, Z or whatever the latest Gen is, because you have to speak the language that belongs to Gen now. So that's the old world mental makeup. You've got to remember that the old world is over and the new is coming. You can't live halfway on that. So this is the new world. And in order to, if you're able to do one, change your mental makeup, 2, change the way you describe yourself and position yourself in the marketplace. And number 3, drive talent to adopt this new change, right? Because we're not book smart people. If I was book smart, I wouldn't be in this business. We're people who learned on the job. So this is all on the job learning. Nobody knows AI more than the next guy because it's being evolved today, as he said, right? So it's learning on the job. And that's building anti-fragility, as you might want to call it, from any disruption, saying, hey, you know what, I'm on the back foot. There's a new AI thing, the calculator does it faster than I can. So the whole thing is that, you know, if you take all 3 of them, they're actually interrelated, and you say, embrace it. In the new economy, you're going to make different versions of this brilliant business that we do of creating products, a fun place to be, and all the fun things that's happening around us. Just like so many other businesses. Sales and marketing is a great example of how they change the sales manager to say, I'm now conversion rate optimization specialist. There you go.
Great names, actually. I love it.
Thank you.
You glamorized housekeeping. I really like it. And in fact, what I just realized, I think housekeeping, one of the major challenges, I'll start from the KRA days, you know, when we had KRAs and we were measured, housekeeping on the whole, there was one part which is very, very subjective. We all know housekeeping, there are budgets and other things, but otherwise cleaning or cleanliness is how clean can clean be? Or you expect cleanliness to be how clean it is expected to be. But I think with the support of, with the introduction and the inclusion of digitalization, I think what you touched upon is that it is completely measurable, it is completely analytical, and it is definitely ever evolving, as quick as the world of internet. So I think it is, I mean, you've touched it very clearly, very cleanly, and I think that is really the way forward to transform. So coming back to Amlan. Collaboration and partnerships, they are key drivers to innovation. Now, how can the housekeeping industry collaborate with technology companies, startups, research institutions, and are there successful collaborations which you can share as examples, since you are, I mean, I'm sure you've already done a lot of collaborations.
Thank you so much, Indrani. And yes, we are collaborators, and I didn't know that this question was coming to me. So I will take it with quick examples. First and foremost, we all touched upon how digitalization can come into housekeeping, the housekeeping fraternity. So there can be, you know, apps and voice control. There can be digital checklists also, okay, whereby, and there can be automated check-in, check-outs, which will assist housekeeping. So there are a lot many collaborations which can be done. Now coming back to industry collaborations, I'll give an example. I'm sure most of us have known about Salesforce. Salesforce today is a CRM platform, okay? And a lot of us must be using that. They have another function called Slack, S-L-A-C-K. So how many of you have heard this term Slack? Can you raise your hands up? Yeah, I see one. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, I'm very tempted to, I'll connect with you. So Slack is very new age. Slack is surpassed WhatsApp. Okay, now what is the common way? Let's talk about digitalization currently. Floor management is through WhatsApp. Okay, WhatsApp group, floor management, and clean, vacant, ready, whatever instructions. Now Slack is a way ahead of WhatsApp. In WhatsApp, if you are inducting somebody, I'll give one feature. I'm not here to talk about Slack, okay? I'll give just one feature, that in WhatsApp, whenever a new entrance is coming in, person is inducted, he or she misses the entire chat, doesn't know. But in Slack, anybody comes in anytime, the complete thing is available. What has happened in that floor, or that room, or that guest preference, everything. We talk about mapping guest histories. Yes, human touch cannot be forgotten. It can never be forgotten. There would be human interventions everywhere. Collaborations being the key. There has to be a balance. We are not talking about, when we talk about digitalization, we don't talk about marginalization. We talk about rationalization. Please remember, we are not marginalizing, we are rationalizing. And when we say we are rationalizing, see, I'll give you a quick figure. In 2001, in India, there were 24,905 rooms available. In 2022, 122,945 rooms were available. And the projection in India alone in 2027 is 195,569 rooms. That is what we are talking about in the recorded segment. There are so many which is in the unrecorded segment. So there would be scalability, and scalability needs speed. It demands speed. So what we are going to do, on one side, I would also like to mention, we all say, oh my God, post the pandemic, the hotel industries, colleges, I am part of a hotel management college, Presidency College of Hotel Management, Royal Orchid Hotels. I'm very much part of that. I understand admissions have gone down. Even Wednesday there was a news, IHM is still not filled up this year. So that means there's a challenge in capacity building. So when there is a challenge in capacity building, either new capacities come in and we train them, as Mukut was saying, skilling and upskilling. The other option, rationalize. If there were 10 manpower required for a certain task, move the 10 to 2 and upskill the remaining 8 into machine learning or something else. So you get into capacities. But if we still stare and think that, okay, a day will come, we will again get good labor force, everything would be running hunky and dory, and there will be no shortage of manpower, we are doing a mistake. So we have to have rationalization. We have to upskill. And collaboration is the key. There are many other industries. There's a firm called Doozy. I'm sure somebody must have heard it. They're into robotics. There are IV cleaners available. Robotic IV cleaners, which gets inside the rooms. There are machines available which actually decides whether your cloth, your linen needs another wash or not after storage. There is an immense intervention on storage, on how do you stack your housekeeping linens, etc., etc. I have been I also drive operational excellence of certain hotels and hotel companies and part of classification, hotel classification. I'm extremely sorry to mention it. When we get into the housekeeping store, I am not talking about all the hotels, some hotels. We all know what I'm talking about. The linen hardly can breathe. So there are technologies now available which can track all these and give you a report, make us aware, okay? And industry collaboration will always be the key.
Thank you so much. Wonderful, insights. Okay, now I think we will move towards the end of our panel discussion, but with a quick rapid fire round. Is that okay? Yes. Okay, my first question to Gunjan. If you had to choose one aspect of housekeeping that could never be replaced by technology, what would it be?
It's the voice of everyone. That's the human touch. When I
Perfect.
want to create a wow experience for a guest, for him to carry memories, digitization or any automated machine cannot do that.
Great.
So yes, personalization and human touch.
Very good. Debayan, if you could digitalize any household chore other than cleaning, what would it be and why?
Other than cleaning, any household chores. Getting groceries maybe. Digital.
Wonderful.
Getting groceries because that's.
So I understand your pain point. Okay, great. Mukut, give us 3 adjectives to describe the ideal digitally enhanced cleaning experience. 3 adjectives to describe the ideal digitally enhanced cleaning experience. Any 3?
Automated, not an adjective. Brilliantly automated,
Okay.
perfectly automated. Human-centric,
Okay. One more.
profit efficient.
Fantastic. Amlan, this is for you. In the digital housekeeping world, would you prefer a cleaning robot with a charming personality or one that works silently and efficiently without any personality quirks?
Combination of both.
You have to make a choice.
Okay, I would prefer a perfectly programmed robot. Good look, maybe.
Okay, you're going towards both. Mukut, would you like to take that question as well?
You'll have to repeat that one. Sorry, quickly, very quickly.
In a digital housekeeping world, would you prefer a cleaning robot with a charming personality or one that works silently and efficiently without any personality quirks?
Silent and efficiently.
Wow. Great. Great thoughts. I think with that, we can end our panel discussion. Thank you once again and for your wonderful insights, great takeaways, and y'all are experts at your field. I'm sure there are a lot of people who are, all of us who are going to connect off the stage as well to understand digitalization in our areas of work. Thank you. Thank you once again.
Right. So if any questions are there, as I said, please address it through the email ID. Now, may I request Ms. Kannamma Babu, GM FMS Apollo Hospitals, to please come up on the stage and felicitate the panelists and the moderator. May I first invite the felicitation of Mr. Mukut Chakravarti. So please come forward for the felicitation. Next, I invite Ms. Gunjan Bisaria for the felicitation. Next, I would like to have Mr. Amlan Das Gupta to proceed in front of the stage for the felicitation. Good catch. May we have Mr. Debayan Sinha Chatterjee to come forward for the felicitation. Finally, I call upon the moderator, Ms. Indrani Sanyal. Ms. Indrani Sanyal, please come forward for the felicitation.